Girl, this lip oil is eating. Oh my god, let me add a little bit more. I'm wearing the lip bar, the prototype botanical lip oil in the color Obsessed. Oh, add a little bit more. I am not, oops, I am not the pink lippy girl, but this is giving like my lip color, and because it's a lip oil, like it gives this subtle yet it's making a statement kind of lip look. And I'm wearing a lip liner from the lip bar too. Anyways, I feel lied to about Curlchat. Let's get right into it. So again, this is an article by Annie Blay and it was published on November 12th, 2024. So it says how the popular dry cutting method failed me and my 4C hair. It looks like 4C girlies. We have, I'm even scared saying we have because I know somebody's gonna be like, girl, stop it, you don't have 4C hair. But what? It looks like 4C. Let me just say it. It feels like for the longest, I've always known that I have 4C hair. But of course, I do not do the hair typing thing. I know I have type 4 hair. But whether A, B, or C, I don't know. That space is the most dangerous space in this whole community, and I seriously am not ready for that. So yeah, how the popular dry cutting method failed me and my 4C hair by Annie Blay. When it comes to textured hair, a column where we untangled the joy, trauma, confusion, and frustration that can come with black hair. This month, Associate Beauty Editor Annie Blay Tete comes for Curlchat, the beloved dry cutting method for curly hair, which is meant to enhance shape, volume, and definition. Reflecting on her failed Curlchat, Blay Tete unpacks the reality that Curlchats don't work for all curls. Okay. Anyways, I love it. I said to the hairstylist through a not so obvious fake smile, attempting to shake out my newly cut curls, only to find they've been frozen in place by a lethal dose of gel and mousse. As soon as I left the salon, one that claimed to specialize in cutting all types of curly hair, I began Googling hairstyles that help fix a bad haircut. In the past, I flinched anytime someone came near my head with scissors. As a black woman with 4C coils, prone to severe shrinkage, I held tightly onto every inch of my hair. But that aversion to trims often meant wearing twist outs with straggly ends and an uneven shape. The TikTok algorithm could sense my dilemma. Last summer, it started serving me videos of women getting curly cuts, a method of dry cutting on curly hair meant to amplify shape, volume, and curl definition while retaining as much length as possible. The thinking here is a cut that looks good right after a wash could look drastically different once the curls have dried. Dry cutting, in theory, reduces the chance of surprises after you've left the salon. With all this alluring claim and convincing results from the videos, I booked an appointment. In the very same way that the excitement of a first date can make you blind to a person's flaws, my eagerness as I embarked on my Curlchat journey, I missed a few red flags. In retrospect, when I was browsing Curlchats on social media, I mainly saw women of color with looser curl patterns. I'd guess most of them were in 2C to 4A range. The before and afters of bouncy strands going from unruly to neatly shaped were so mesmerizing. I glossed over the fact that none of these women had hair that looked like mine, until I walked into the salon and saw it in real life. Despite a slight uneasiness, I tried to reassure myself as I sat down in the salon chair, looked around, and saw how different my texture was from the other clients. These stylists were curly hair specialists. I was in good hands. I've reported on Curlchats before. I knew they could be transformative. After 6 years of wearing my natural hair, I was looking forward to seeing those results. I got a standard shampoo session, then was placed under a hot dryer to let the deep conditioner penetrate and of course to let my hair dry before any scissors came near my head. Once the stylist began cutting each curl, I do mean each individual curl, one at a time. My initial thought was, wow, this is going to take forever. Thus began my first gripe with curly cuts. A curly cut can take about an hour and half to 2 hours, which includes wash and go styling after the cut, says the New York based stylist Karen Miller, who specializes in styling and cutting textured hair, both curly and stretched, and works with stars including Quinta Brunson and Solange. A standard haircut on blown out textured hair takes about an hour. Most curly cut appointments will end with a natural hairstyle like a twist out, a braid out, or commonly a wash and go. Now that you've enhanced your curls with a cut, it's time to show them off, right? Despite my protest that wash and goes always leave me with a shrunken up stiff afro, the stylist insisted it was the best styling method for my texture. So they coated my hair in copious amounts of gel and mousse before diffusing it. As I predicted, I was left with a shrunken afro. Now, there's nothing wrong with a TWA, but it's not what I was used to nor what I signed up for. The shape of the curls looked spiky as I went to shake my hair, expecting some movement. Like the woman I saw on TikTok, I got nothing. My curls were stiff, right? And here I can see some videos of Annie Blay showing her curls and her hair after it's been diffused. Did I mismanage my expectations? Maybe, but in the following days, I became convinced that my hair wasn't meant for curly cut. The next morning, my curls were dry and coiled together with no bounce or movement. White flakes of gel residue floated down from my hair every time I moved my hair, ever so lightly. I thought restyling my hair using my usual techniques might help, but even after washing my hair just 2 days after the appointment and doing my signature twist out, my hair still looked spacey. My afro lacked fullness and I could see gaps in the cut. I couldn't quite make sense of this until Miller shares with me that the curls you have on day one of wash day aren't the same as day two, and so on. Curls are a group of strands that clump together, and sometimes they appear healthier, curlier than when blown out and separated, Miller explains. So while my hair appeared more uniform at the end of my curly cut when in a more stretched state, which is how I usually style my hair, as I tried to emphasize to the stylist at the salon, split ends and gaps in the overall shape became more evident. In the same way that it was wrong to assume all heat is bad for curly hair, it is also wrong to assume that curly cuts are good for all curly hair. More than anything, I was left with a whole lot of confusion. Why did curly cuts seem to work for the rest of the natural hair community, but not for me? I had black curly haired friends who raved about their curly cuts, so what went wrong with mine? Looking back through the curly cut success stories on the salon's Instagram and reflecting on my own experience, I've concluded that curly cuts simply aren't for all curly girls. Miller agrees. I find that those with curly curls and wavy hair can get away with a curly cut because the hair tends to be more stretched out, she says. For those with tighter curls, it's best to have your hair cut stretched. It allows your stylist to see more clearly what needs to be cut. At the very least, your stylist should be mindful of how you're actually going to style your hair once you're home. I would never do a wash and go as they had done, so that shouldn't have been the final look used to check the results of the cut. Cutting curls in their natural form became popular around 2011 when everyone decided to go natural and wanted nothing to do with any form of heat, Miller says. This complete villainization of heat that happened during the natural hair movement perpetuated the misconception that all curls are created equal. But the truth is, some curl types thrive when stretched out with heat. In the same way that it was wrong to assume that all heat is bad for curly hair, it is also wrong to assume that curly cuts are good for all curly hair. As this truth sunk in, my frustration with being duped by social media began to subside. For some, the dry cutting technique really is a game changer. There are many beautiful curly hair results on the internet, the same ones that lured me in. This isn't a hater to Curlchat, it's a plea to the natural hair community to be transparent about how many natural hairstyles, products, and methods aren't made with coily type 4 hair in mind. A few months after my failed Curlchat, I went to a salon in Queens and got a haircut on silk pressed hair. The experience yielded the confidence every woman wants after a hair appointment. My ends and the overall shape of my hair looked neater, both when I wore it curly and straight. Fast forward about 6 months, I was due for another silk press and trim. Yes, I know I should be getting trims more frequently, but that's another story. This time, I gladly let my stylist apply the appropriate amount of heat to my hair, stretching it out before cutting. After all, true autonomy means knowing what actually works for your hair, regardless of what an algorithm suggests. Girls, so what do you think? First off, what I can say is that Annie did not get a good experience. I think that Annie's session, the whole, if you can see the video, you can see it looks like she has conditioner in her hair. Her hair doesn't look styled to me. I mean, whatever styler that was used in her hair is not okay. This is one thing I know about type 4 hair. Let me speak for type 4 hair. Let me not even say 4C hair for someone to say that I don't have it, so I should shut my mouth. But one thing that I have realized with years of styling my wash and goes is that stylists that weigh on your hair, stylists that stretch your hair out are perfect for wash and goes. You get it? That is why it's not all mousses that you can even use for your hair. There are some mousses like the Do, like the mousse from Miche, the gel to foam one, and then this other mousse from Discover Trailers. Those are mousses that have leave-in conditioner systems in it, and you basically do not need a leave-in conditioner when you use them. So the do has this crazy sexy curl. So those are mousses that from my experience they would weigh your hair down. Like they apply on as a gel even though it's a mousse, and they stretch out the curl whilst you are styling. Of course it's gonna shrink back up, but as you are applying it you can feel like the heaviness of it and how it is stretching out your curl and sort of elongating it even as you style. So those are the mousses that I would use. There are some mousses that I would definitely won't ever use for to style a wash and go. Some of them are simply meant for hemorrhoid sets, or maybe you are doing like a low burn, like you're setting your hair into like a sleek look. That is it, not really a slick look, but then like a kinky sleek back. Let me put it that way. That is it with my experience with styling. I styled my hair today with the Agile Beauty Biomint gel. That is my favorite gel of all time. Okay, you can use it by itself, but then I used it with the Blue Tansy and Biomint combo leave-in conditioner that they have. The top of the bottle is blue and then transition is down to the white, letting you know that is a mixture of the Blue Tansy and then the Biomint line. So these two come together to form the leave-in that I actually used and then went in with the gel. And I personally use a lot of the gel. That is the best gel. Like I don't even know why. I feel like this gel is not getting I don't know how to put it. It's not getting the praise that it's supposed to get. This is supposed to be the gel in everyone's it should be in everyone's home. Anybody with type 4 hair, it should be in your home. That is me. It is the if I have nothing to use, or if I have an emergency something and I have to go. Of course I'm a creator, okay, and I would try different types of gels. If it gets to the point where like I haven't planned what I'm going to use for content and I cannot risk flakes, I cannot risk the styles turning out some way, somehow, whatever, that is the gel that I'll reach out for. It is a staple. It is a gel that I am sure of. Okay, enough of the praising. By the way, this is not sponsored. This is my honest truth about this gel. So yeah, there's that. But looking at Annie's hair in this video, like I feel like her hair wasn't way down. It looks to me like a conditioner was applied. In fact, if her hair was styled like that and I was called into the room and asked like what stage of the hair routine are we in, I was probably gonna say that she has conditioner in her hair because it doesn't look styled to me. Having your hair styled that way and cutting it afterwards, I feel like you are just setting up yourself for the kind of results that she actually got. So that is me. This is just an honest view of what I saw, and no disrespect to the stylist who did her hair, but Annie, this is what I feel about the whole thing. So first of all, I feel like you didn't get a good experience because of how the style went, or maybe just the session you had. That is basically what I have to say. And see, she made mention of the lethal dose of, okay, I don't know, maybe it's about the writing, and of course you have to be, how do we call it, exaggerate about certain things and a whole lot. But yeah, I get it, but I don't think it was lethal. I don't think it was lethal like lethal, because I mean I use tons of gel for my hair too, and I like the hold that it gives me, but as you can tell, it has movement, of course. But even though I use like lots of gel, and if I would use a mousse, I would obviously use lots of mousse too. Our hair is not the hair that you can just get like a dime size of gel and put in, and then you're good to go. This is it. This is how we need that much to style our hair. That is our hair, and I'm sure we love it that way too. There are two stylists actually that have cut my hair ever since I started getting curly cuts in, was it 2021? Or I don't know. But the first stylist that cut my hair was Elaine of Yes Hair Studios, and the other stylist that cut my hair was in Ghana. That was Constance. Yes, at the Beauty Techniques salon in Accra, Ghana, Jolu. So those are the two stylists that have ever cut my hair, and I have always had like a great experience. I'm overdue for a trim and all of that, but I don't know. I'll probably be doing it myself. Of course, I have seen so many stylists, including Elaine, obviously on her page, do curly cuts or do cuts on stretched hair. I haven't had that kind of cut yet from a stylist, but would I go in for that? Obviously, I mean, if I have to, that's fine, because the curly cuts that I get, even when I stretch my hair out, it works out for me, and that is my experience. But again, she made a comment like most of the people that she's seeing, like she said, I mainly saw women of color with looser curl patterns. I guess most of them were in the 2C to 4A range. And I'm like, when people keep saying that they don't see people with type 4 getting curly cuts, I'm like, what is going on? Because that is all I see. That is basically most of what I see. If you go to Elaine's and lots of people with type 4 hair. I don't know what people see. If I want to see type 4 obviously am I looking at receipts that is not properly done, that I don't know 4C hair or what? Because I see so many people with type 4 hair on these pages, on Black Girl Curls pages, on SS Studio pages, on I don't know, like I see it on many platforms. So I'm like, I don't get it. Like it's all over. So I don't know what people say they are not seeing. They're seeing with type 4 hair, amazing, washable style, washable cuts. When I had shorter hair, I wasn't really expecting movement because I know my hair, right? And as it grows out, I can expect something like this. Probably, I don't even expect my hair to have this shake and bounce anytime I will shake it. I know my hair and I know what not to expect. You get it? So if it is longer, I mean, the length and the volume alone would guarantee that I have some sort of bounce and a whole lot. I just know my hair. I just do not expect certain things from my hair just because somebody else has it. I just study my hair and know what to expect. Feel me? These are the comments that I have about this article. I think I can go on and on and on and on about this article, but then, well, Annie, I basically think that maybe you just did not have a good session, and maybe you should try another stylist. And I am very sure that you get better results. But of course, she said that she got a stretched cut and it worked perfectly for her. So maybe she can stick to that one too. That also works. This post was by Fola Hodntas. I don't know if I'm mentioning it right. Now, if you all know, I am Ghanaian and I have lived in Ghana for most of my life. And growing up in Ghana, you see almost everybody. It's either they are in cornrows, they are in braids, they are in twists. If I would see somebody with natural hair, that is because of basically religion and maybe like the grandmothers. That's what you see natural hair on. Until this whole movement came up, and then at least young ladies started wearing out their natural hair. And even with that, the most that you would see is you see them wear it out in twist, the mini twist that we call, except that we do not like load it up with leave-in conditioners and creams like it is seen on Instagram. So they basically put shea butter in your hair, comb out your hair and twist it, and it gives this really full look, and that is what you will see most people wear their hair out in. And one other hairstyle that you see is the puff. So most of the university students will wear their hair up in a puff and all of that. I think I left uni like 10 years ago. So I believe by now you would probably see people with wash and goes and twist outs and a whole lot on their own campus, which I would obviously love to see. But I mean, the last time I went to my university campus with Elaine to share some products with the students there, and I did not see. I think there was one lady that we met at the Accra Mall that was wearing her hair out in like some sort of wash and go. But yeah, braiding has been one thing that is back home that I mean, because it is a style that is worn a lot of the time, there simply was no need making it expensive. Do you get it? Because people are gonna come anyways. And lots of people, sometimes you go to a salon, you have to sit there for morning. Like, there are so many people there, you have to be in a queue. And the whole booking thing, that is so not a culture back home. And again, no tip culture back in my home. There is nothing like that. There is totally nothing like that. If I order an Uber and the Uber brings whatever it is to me, I pay the exact amount. There is nothing like tipping. I've been in America for quite a while, and sometimes it's just like it's compulsory. I mean, I'm paying for my food. I'm paying for my Uber, but then it's like it's part of the Uber app. Like you have to tip. I'm like, what? I'm paying you for your services. I respect the culture there and everything, but please, can y'all leave it here in America? Like, don't bring it. When y'all come to the dirty December, don't take it to my home, please. Don't take it there because people only come there in December, have fun, and go. And you don't want you dipping in that short period to change things there. You get it? Because there are people who actually live there their whole life. You get it? And you do not want to come change things there. We need to like maintain what is there. Let's just like listen to what she was saying.
Dirty December is here, but I want to talk about these braid prices because I know the discourse is coming. Diasporas are coming. But not that. I want to actually have a productive conversation about traveling ethically, so let's talk about it. I've been thinking about some things: inflation, prices, and how we're navigating beauty rituals when we go back home. Like you land, and what usually costs like $300 back home is like $30 here. It always sounds like a win, but is it really? Let me use my Berkeley brain and political economy degree to really break it down. When we as tourists from stable economies come to the countries like these and we're paying more in the local prices, even though it's still cheap to us, I feel like what people don't realize is that over time, our tourist prices can eventually shift the market. Next thing you know, locals can't afford what's always been accessible to them. But then there's the flip side. They do need that influx of tourism money, especially during Dirty December. Braiders, stylists, vendors really do depend on us during this peak season to help sustain their businesses. But where's the balance? As much as I've studied this, I don't know the answer. Are we helping them sustain their livelihoods, or are we disrupting local markets? Is tipping heavily for beauty service like braids a kindness, or are we creating unsustainable expectations? Should there be a clear tourist rate, or should we just leave it as is? As inflation is rising both at home and abroad, I think we need to approach Dirty December with a lot more awareness. Obviously, let's support as as much as we can, but let's also respect local economies and communities. This is a much more bigger structural governmental problem. But on an individual basis, like how can we travel more ethically that we're not causing so much harm to like local communities?
Exactly. The harm to local communities. I think that should be the beauty of it. You get it? That should be the beauty of it. That it should be there. You don't want to change the fact that, oh, I can go to Nigeria and get braids for $30, or I can go to Ghana and get braids for $30. Like what we don't want to change that. Even for people in the diaspora, we don't want to change that. I don't think we want to change that. And what would be the beauty in it? What would you get to say about you going back home? What is it? I mean, it's part of the things that makes us love back home, right? So I don't think this is something that we should change. Well, this is what I had to say about it. I remember, was it 2 years ago or something? I made a post about this on, it was my Curlchat series, and when I made it, it looks like people did not understand. People were given like 100% tips. They were paying more and giving tips like 100%. One of my favorite creators, Lisa Marie, and I so much adore her work and everything that she does on her page. So she launched Kelly Essentials. She's launched it for quite a while now. I'm thinking October. She launched her own company, Kelly Essentials, and so far what I have seen that Kelly Essentials is about is I've seen some robes which are so beautiful. It looks really, really, really luxurious. And then I'm seeing some scrunchies, and I don't know, she's wearing this headband. I don't know if that is also part of Curly Essentials, but I think I need to get into it. Okay, I feel like white satin scrunchies are so beautiful. Like they never go out of style. If you do this curly bun and you attach white, I don't know, whether white or cream, whatever, like the whole white vanilla-y look scrunchies to your low bun, like it just eats, it just takes you to a whole other level. Like it's just something, it just does something to me. I mean, it's just so elegant. Anyways, you guys should check out Kelly Essentials and let's support Alisa Marie because the satin robe, I need to get one. Anyways, we are done for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next episode. Thank you and bye.